Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome back for another card video. Today's card uses two products from the Simon Says Stamp Color of Fun release, which happened yesterday. I've got this Game Tiles set of stamps and this Sunshine die set. So I'm going to first start by die cutting my sun. I'm just going to use a piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock. I decided to color this sun with Copic markers. I have three different shades of yellow and decided to cover the whole thing first with my lightest color, the Y11, just because I feel like I get better blending that way when I first do one coat of the lightest color. And then I'm going in with the darkest color, Y17, and I'm flicking upward from the tip. And I'm going to do this all the way around on all the different tips. And when you flick upward, you kind of get a fading of the color as you go up. Now the next step is to take Y15 and I'm just blending the line between the Y17 and the Y11. I am going over a little bit of the Y17 just to make sure I get it blended correctly. But I'm just going to go all the way around on all these tips and color it in towards the Y11. And then finally I took my Y11 and I started in the center and I kind of just colored outward, not really flicking, just coloring outward, making sure that I blend into the Y15 that I just colored. I'm going to do this all the way around, just making sure that I start in the center each time. And that's it for my sun. Now to make sure that I get my words centered on my cardstock, I'm going to mark the center here, and then I've die cut. There's a die that matches these game tiles. I die cut several of them from scratch paper, and then I put the four letters of my word that's going down, and then I marked the top box, and that's going to be my top letter, and that's where my top line, my top word, is going to need to line up with. So I just used a T-square to draw that line at the top. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab all the letters that I'm going to be using so they're ready to go. And then I'm going to mark the center of the cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp these letters from the inside out because I have my center marked. So I'm using, there's 8 letters to this word, so I'm going to use the 4th and the 5th letters first, and then I'll go outward from there. Now this cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4, so I trimmed 1/4 of an inch so I'd have a 1/4 inch mat when I was finished. Now I've stamped all my letters. I'm just going to erase the pencil line that I drew to line up that Courtney word. And now I'm going to color my tiles. I wanted them to look a little bit more really like Scrabble tiles, so I tried to find a good combination of beige to use. So I took E51, I colored the whole tile, and then I took E53, just colored the left edge and the bottom edge, and then I just blended that back in with the E51. So just a simple process here with each of these tiles just to give them a little bit of dimension and make them pop on the page. So I'm going to go ahead and color all of them the exact same way. I used Memento Tuxedo Black ink to stamp my images because it works the best with Copic markers. You can see I'm really coloring a lot over my stamped images and I'm not getting any bleeding whatsoever. Alright, so now for the outside of these tiles, I decided to do a blue shadow. So because my sun is in the lower left hand corner, I'm going to get the shadow behind the tile at the top and on the right. So I did the darkest line with a B05 just around the top and the right edge of the tile, and then I came in with a B02 and blended out just a little bit with that one. And now I have a B000 and I'm blending that out as well. And then I decided after that that I was going to flick upward with my B000 and just kind of pull out that color into the white space. Now, I wasn't totally happy with the background on this card. When I was finished, I liked all the blue that I did around the edges of the tiles and how that extended upward. But when I started pulling the color down toward the sun, I wanted it to look streaky so that it would look like there were sun rays coming in. But it's not my favorite background. But anyway, I still like the card and I love these tiles. They're so adorable and they really pop out when you color them. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the rest and you can watch me color this background. Alright, now I'm done with my blue and I wanted to blend a little bit of yellow from the sun, so I took my Y11 and I'm just streaking kind of upward in the same direction as the blue so that it looks like yellow is coming out of the sun. I'm not going to blend it too much because I don't want to get too heavy and I want it to keep the streaks. Now I looked everywhere through my stamps for the word is. I finally found it as part of this one stamp because you don't really need it, but I thought it would be cool to have is in there. And I colored it with a Stampin' Up! Black marker and then huffed on it and stamped it. And it didn't stamp. I kind of knew this was going to happen because this generally happens with the Stampin' Up! Black marker, is it didn't come like really, really black. So I just went over it with the actual marker. Now I used my tape runner to adhere my sun to the lower left-hand corner, and then I'm just trimming off the excess with a scissor. Now I have lost my little roll of this Scotch foam tape, so I've got the big giant roll. I know it's somewhere in my room, but my room is a total disaster right now, and I'm sure it's hiding under something, so eventually I will find it. But I took 3 strips and put it on the back of this panel, and now I'm adhering it to my card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch folded Neenah. And then finally I added some shimmer to my sun using a Wink of Stella clear pen. I pretty much exclusively use the clear because it covers pretty much any color and looks great. So that's really the only color you need. That is the card for today. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.